All right, I'm actually at a Goodwill in St. Petersburg with my brother Zach.
Okay.
So we're gonna go take a look and see if we can find anything inside this Goodwill retail store. It's pretty nice looking, so maybe we'll have a decent shot. You know I had to. Time to head into Value Pawn, see if we can find any good game deals. Let's go.
All right, so that was actually a very successful run. What was interesting was that I think there was a new guy who was helping me out, and that helped in my favor because I think some of the stuff, one game in particular was kind of underpriced because of it, although some of it I paid a little bit more than I'd like, but still. Ended up getting 6 games for $25, which is pretty good. 2 of them are disc only, 3 of them are boxed, and 1 of them is a Switch game, another loose Switch game. So I think I did pretty well. Most of these I got to flip at GameStop because I have a couple pre-orders coming out and I want to make sure I have the credit for them. And one I got to add to the collection because I don't have it anymore apparently and I need it again. So for starters, the game I'm keeping, Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, I know this is not everybody's favorite Call of Duty game. I thought I had it. I guess I traded it in at one point. But I'm eventually going to be doing a video where I play every Call of Duty game until I defeat an enemy. And I didn't have this one. So I'm actually on the hunt for this, Black Ops 2, and Call of Duty 3. So I can complete the Call of Duty collection. And I got to get Call of Duty Classic on the 360. So Ghosts on Xbox One, only paid $5. I think that's a solid price for that game. Pretty happy with that. These are both flippers. I paid $5 for them. They're worth $6.60 in trade, but there is a bonus if I trade towards a specific pre-order, which I'm going to do. So for starters, we got Assassin's Creed Black Flag on the PS4. I've traded this game in already. It's worth 6 in trade-in baseline, but with the bonuses, it should be worth like 7 or 8. So a little bit of a bump. Not huge, but a little bit of a bump. After that, we have Assassin's Creed Origins on the PS4. Another one was worth the same as Black Flag. I originally picked up just Origins, but I saw Black Flag and I figured I'd check. And yeah, they're both the same. They're both worth $6. So I figured, yeah, let's get that little extra bump. Here's the one that as soon as I saw it, I thought it was a little underpriced. I don't know how much it's worth in trade-in or if it's even taken at all. GameStop's website didn't list it. I'm on the fence whether I'm going to keep this or not because I don't own this game and it's a Switch copy. So we'll see. We have Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, the complete edition. This is fairly new. It came out this year, I think a few months ago. Chip only. They originally wanted 8 for it, but I got them down to 7. So I only paid $7 for a Switch game, which is pretty good. We'll see. I'm going to probably at least find out how much GameStop will take this for. If they take it, great. If not, I'll probably keep it. And here are the 2 that I'm morbidly curious about. Because originally, one of them actually has a price on it. And if they asked for the price that they were listed on, I was going to absolutely pass. But then the guy's coworker was like, oh, all the disc-only games are $1. And of course, my reaction to that was, well, of course I'm going to take it. GTA 5 on the PS4. The value of this just went up to $10 in trade at GameStop. So naturally, I'm going to pick it up and trade it in, especially it's disc only. Why not? So GTA, yeah, I paid $1 for it. So it's definitely a slam dunk in terms of value. I will 10 times my money over. And then while he was pulling out the discs for the 3 games that were boxed, he came across this that was loose, and I'm like, well, if you sell it to me for $1, I'll take it off your hands too. Call of Duty Ghosts on the PS4. So that one I don't know how much it's worth, but I figure, you know, for $1, I will gladly take a Call of Duty game on the PS4. I'm going to try to flip that one as well. So worst comes to worst, I'm going to be able to flip probably 4 games. Ideally, I'll flip everything except Ghosts on Xbox and should get some decent credit that I can put towards pre-orders that are coming out next week. So pretty solid and not at all a bad score for $25.
Okay, let's go to GameStop, try to flip in some games that I just picked up. See what I can get in credit. Let's go. So it did pretty well. I got $46 in credit for those games. Now,
let me remind you, I only paid $25 for the whole lot, and I kept a game. And I got $46 in credit. So I used most of that on a pre-order. On top of that, I also got some Pokemon cards, which I will open on the BigCTV channel for another episode of unboxing. And I put $5 down on Madden because I thought it was going to give me a promo. Because at least online it says that if you pre-order Madden and put trades towards it, you get an extra 20%. That didn't proc for some reason, so maybe it hasn't started yet. I don't know. I wasn't going to push it just because the guy was new and the store was kind of busy. So I still got a pretty good amount of money. So I got like $33 on a pre-order, $5 on Madden, and some Pokemon cards, and I only paid $25 total. Technically 20 because the game I kept was $5. So $20 turned into more than double. Pretty happy with that. I'll go over the full values for the end recap at the end.
All right, I am actually at a Goodwill in St. Petersburg with my brother, Zach.
Okay.
So we're gonna go take a look and see if we can find anything inside this Goodwill retail store. It's pretty nice looking, so maybe we'll have a decent shot. Zach, you ready to learn the ways of the game hunter?
Sure.
Okay, maybe we'll get lucky. Let's go see. So we did find games. Granted, they're all sports games in Disney Infinity, but we did find games. So I'm gonna take a look around, see if we can find anything decent, but might as well keep looking. So at least, hey, there is stuff. We just gotta look for it. We actually found some decent stuff. So let's check out and head to the car, and I will show you exactly what I got. Well, we already went to a thrift shop and found some stuff, so now let's go to a pawn shop. Pawn Max. Let's see if we can find any games. Let's do it. And here we go, found some more scores for a good price. I'll recap everything when I get back. All right, I am back from my little trip to St. Petersburg to visit my father for his birthday. I was able to surprise him. He was not expecting me at all, which was pretty great. And we had a really nice time, played some board games. He cooked a really nice meal that we all got to try. It was a good time. And I'm glad I got to spend some time with him as well as my two brothers. But one of the things I was able to do, and I want to do more of because I only stopped at 2 places and there was several more in the pretty close vicinity to my dad's apartment, game hunting and going to thrift shops and pawn shops. So thrift shops in my area are pretty dry. There are 2 that are kind of close by. There's the Hope Thrift, which I took you to before, and then there is a Goodwill, but I've seen almost nothing in terms of games. As you saw from the footage when I went to Goodwill in St. Pete, there was a pretty good amount of stuff. Now, just because there was a good amount of stuff doesn't mean it was worth picking up, but I did pick up a few things for pretty solid prices. Some of them are not game related, but I figured I would still show you what I picked up, and then I also went to a pawn shop as well. So we picked up a couple pretty solid items from these locations. So first off, let's talk about Goodwill. I picked up 6 items, and 2 of them were on sale because it was Red Tag Day, so they were half off, which is pretty cool. Now, I haven't shown you any of these yet. I was going to do a recap at my dad's apartment, but we had other stuff going on, so I just never got around to it. But I'll show you now. So first up, we have, and I mostly picked this up because of how cheap it was, but also, you know, maybe one day if I have a system that can play it, I'll try to play it. SimCity 3000 on the PC. This is a classic SimCity game. You build your own city, can cause destruction. Classic game. I played this a lot back in the 90s when it came out. It is complete. It's got the disc. The disc is in great shape. The manual's in good shape. Solid little game. This one was red tagged. Normally it was $1.18. I ended up getting it for 59 cents. So, I mean, for 59 cents, that's worth adding to the collection for sure. This one was not red tagged, but it was $1, and considering what it is, I figured it was worth having. We have Myst on the PC, a iconic adventure / puzzle game from 1993. A very classic game. I've never played the original Myst. My dad used to play. He didn't really get into it, but it is an iconic PC game. I figured for $1.18, I might as well get it. I doubt I can get this to run even if I had a PC that can run it, but you never know. And for $1, it's probably worth having a copy of it.
Continuing on the PC front, yes, I picked up a number of PC games. This one I mostly grabbed because not only is it a game that I always wanted to play, it's complete in box, in original box. Painkiller on the PC, Heaven's Got a Hitman. This is the series that was made popular by People Can Fly, who are the developers behind Gears of War Judgment and most recently Outriders. This was kind of their first big series, and I've heard it's pretty good. I've always wanted to play the Painkiller games. They are making a new one, but now I have the original Painkiller complete in its original box. And yes, I have checked, all the discs are inside, the manual's inside, everything's here. So that's pretty cool to find a old school PC game in its original case. And this one, because apparently all of their PC games were marked at $1.18. This was red tag, so I paid 59 cents for this. So I definitely think that was a solid investment. I'll probably gonna end up keeping it, but I think it does have a little bit of value. So who knows, maybe I'll sell it, we'll see. Last game, and there were a number of games I looked at. Most of them were kind of shovelware-y. The one heartbreaking one was they had a box for X-Men Destiny, which is a fairly valuable game because it has been delisted on the Xbox 360, but I opened the case and it was like Madden 13 or something. So that was a bummer, but I did find one game that I felt was definitely worth the $4 that I paid for it. And that is Spider-Man Friend or Foe on the Wii. This game does have a little bit of value. It came in a Hollywood video case, so it's not the original cover art. But the disc is there, it's in pretty solid shape, and I only paid $4 for it. So for a Spider-Man game on the Wii, might as well grab it. Last two things are not game related, but I figured I'd pick them up. One of them is to add to my personal collection, and one of them is to flip. So to flip, I found a sealed copy of Scrubs Season 8 on Blu-ray. So of course Scrubs, iconic TV show, really funny if you haven't watched it. I've seen the entire series. For a sealed Blu-ray, I think I paid $4 at Goodwill, so might as well try to flip this. I think it's worth like 20, something like that for a sealed copy. So I'm gonna try to flip it on eBay. Let's see if it sells. Hopefully it does. And then last, because this was like $3, and I am trying to collect the entire series physically so I can watch it whenever I want. It is my favorite comedy TV show of all time, even though we're not going to talk about the finale. How I Met Your Mother Season 7 on DVD. I think I currently have Seasons 1, 2, and 3 on DVD, but now I have Season 7. I paid $3 out of pocket for this, so pretty happy with that. Nice addition to the collection. All right, in addition to that, we did go to one pawn shop. And I would have gone to more, but by the time we did this, because we had to run a number of errands that day, my brother was tired and we were both having to deal with the heat because the car we were using does not have AC. So we didn't want to stay out too long. So we went to one pawn shop and it was a pretty cool one. They were pretty well priced in terms of stuff. And the big thing I appreciate is the fact that they had a bunch of games that I don't normally see at pawn shops, but they had a deal that I had to take advantage of, which is buy 3 games from the Xbox 360, PS2, Wii, PS3, like older generations of games, and you can get them for $10. Now there were a number of games, and if I had a little more money, I probably would have picked up more. I didn't have a ton though, so I wanted to pick out 3 games that I think would be nice additions to the collection, and I think I did pretty well. First off, we have Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon on the Xbox. I have not seen this game really before, or if I have, it's been a very long time since I've seen this game. Did you know there was a game based on Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? I doubt you did. But it is complete. The disc is in really good shape. Fairly uncommon game. It was part of the 3 for $10 deal, so pretty happy with that pickup. Next, we have Brothers in Arms, The Road to Hill 30. This was the one Brothers in Arms game that I was missing, and now I have it in complete form. I had to do a lot of scraping because this thing was just covered in GameStop stickers. I think I did a pretty good job of cleaning it up though. It is complete. Everything is here. It's in pretty good shape. Solid pickup addition to the collection. And then lastly, a PS3 game that I know the sequel's worth some money. This one has a little bit of value, not as much as the sequel though.
White Knight Chronicles, the International Edition on the PS3. It looks cool. I heard pretty good things about it, and I figured, you know, for a bundle deal like that, might as well add it to the collection. The one game that I probably should have picked up that I didn't was Samba de Amigo on the Wii. That was one of the options, and I almost picked that up, but I really wanted Brothers in Arms to complete that set. This one was a no-brainer. I had to pick that up. And then I picked up Crouching Tiger just because I don't see that, especially on the original Xbox, very often. So I figured those were all solid pickups. So yeah, did some thrifting, had a good time visiting my brother and my dad, brothers and my dad. Solid time in St. Petersburg. I wish I could have done more, and maybe the next time I go up there, I'll be able to do a little bit more game hunting. But for what I did, pretty happy with the results.
So I just left GameStop, and I went to GameStop today because I had to trade in some games. Because I have 2 pre-orders that are coming out on Tuesday that I really want to pick up. And there are 2 games that I think if I wait too long are going to be difficult to find because they're not like super big mass-produced things. So I wanted to make sure I got copies. And I think I did okay for the most part. That's one of the blessings and curses of having a large collection of games is it's good because if you're in a bind, you do have stuff that you can trade in or stuff that you can sell because, I mean, games tend to hold their value. But at the same time, it also hurts because you have to sacrifice some games. So I sacrificed I think it was 5 or 6 games from my collection. I didn't have a particular attachment to any of them. They're all games that I picked up, usually in like bundle deals where I had to get to a certain threshold. So I picked up this game because it looked kind of cool. So I'm not too broken up about any of them. I did have to trade in 3 Switch games though, but none of them were like humongous sacrifices. So at least, you know, I traded in 5 games. I'm going to be getting 2 more back on Tuesday. It is what it is. Obviously, I lost a little bit of money with each trade-in because most of them I got from GameStop. A couple I got from other places. But, you know, sometimes that's what you got to do. So I'll be back on Tuesday to pick up those 2 new games. I'm pretty excited for both of them, honestly. I'll show you those when they come in. All right, last stop of the week for this episode. It's GameStop. Got a couple pre-orders we're going to pick up. I'm pretty excited for both of them. Let's head in, see what we get. All right, so I am now back from GameStop. I was going to do a recap outside after I got out, but the bus showed up literally as soon as I got there, so I didn't have time. But I will show you what I got. I got 2 brand new release Switch games, and honestly, I'm pretty excited about both of these. The best part about it is I paid, after trade-ins, obviously, grand total of $3 out of pocket. Pretty happy with the results. So first up, we have the great Ace Attorney Chronicles for the Nintendo Switch. If you don't know what this is a brand new Ace Attorney game that was already released in Japan on the 3DS, I believe, but has now been brought over for the first time to the US on the Switch. So it includes a whole new campaign, and it's based on basically like distant relatives of Phoenix Wright. Looks fun. I'm a big fan of the Ace Attorney franchise. They're good, wacky, enjoyable stories and pretty solid gameplay. So I'm very excited to give this one a whirl. Very excited for that. And it's nice that we actually get a physical version. There has not been a physical release of an Ace Attorney game in the US since the DS. So let that sink in for a second. So I'm glad there is a physical release of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and I have it. By the way, I paid $3 out of pocket for this technically, but it's worth $40 because it's a brand new release game. The other brand new release game I got, this is the sequel to what is currently my most valuable Switch game, Neo, The World Ends With You. This is a sequel to The World Ends With You, a game that came out on the DS. Interesting enough, both of these games are sequels to games that came out on the DS. Odd that that's a coincidence. But this is a fun RPG series. I have the original remake on the Switch. That is actually the most valuable Switch game I currently own. And this one looks pretty good. I'm probably going to hold off on playing it just because I want to play the original and actually finish the original. But I got this mostly because the remake did not get a huge print run, and I'm not sure this will either. So again, kind of like what I've been doing with a few other Switch games, I wanted to pick it up when it was new and hold on to it because it seems like a lot of these Switch games tend to go up in value pretty quickly. So another one to add to the collection. Paid nothing out of pocket. It's worth 60 bucks. All right, now we're gonna get to the recap for everything else I picked up. Now, obviously, some of the things I don't have currently because I traded them in to get those 2 new games. We're gonna start off with Call of Duty Ghosts on the Xbox One. This was a game I have owned before. I picked it up again mostly because I eventually do want to own all the Call of Duty games so I can do another of my I played every game in a series until I killed an enemy series. And I want to do it with Call of Duty. So I needed Ghosts. That was one of the ones I was missing. I never actually finished the campaign for Ghosts. So, another reason. I paid $5 out of pocket. It's worth $7. So it doesn't have a huge value, but definitely worth picking up to re-add to the collection. Next, we're going to go to my pickups that I had at Goodwill in St. Petersburg. So I'm glad I got to do a little game hunting over there. The main thing I discovered is that St. Pete is a much better place to find games because I guess there's not as many people hunting for them as there are here. So next time I go out there, I definitely want to do more game hunting, especially at thrift shops, because man, the thrift shops in Orlando, you can't find anything. But I guess in St. Pete you can. So I found a decent stack, and I picked up a decent stack. So I'm not going to talk about any of the stuff I got that wasn't game related. So I did pick up a couple DVD/Blu-ray sets, and those I mostly picked up because they were really good price. One I picked up to resell, and one I picked up to add to my collection. I'm not going to include those. So first games we have are all PC games, not a platform that I normally pick up stuff for, but considering how cheap these games were, I figured it was worth a pickup. We're going to start off with Myst on the PC. This is a classic, iconic adventure game. Came out in 1993 on the PC. I paid $1 for this, and it's worth $6. So even though it is an old PC game, it still has a little bit of value at least. Maybe I can play it someday when I have a PC. Next, we have SimCity 3000 on the PC. Another classic, iconic game series. I remember playing this when it came out. It was pretty solid. It was a nice step up from SimCity 2000. I paid 50 cents for this, and it's worth $7. So again, solid pickup. Nice addition to the collection. This one I thought was going to be the best just because it's complete in box, which that's the thing with PC is those 2 games are technically not complete. They come with the jewel case, but not the original boxes. This one is actually complete in box. We have Painkiller on PC. So I heard about this franchise. It was made by People Can Fly, the same team who did Gears Judgment and Outriders. Looked fun. I always wanted to play it, and there is an Xbox version. Maybe someday I'll find that so I can actually play it. But I have the PC version. I paid 50 cents for it. It's worth $5. So it doesn't have a ton of value, even in complete form, but it's still kind of cool to see a complete in-box PC game. Not something you find very often these days. The only console game I picked up at Goodwill was Spider-Man Friend or Foe on the Wii. I thought this was a pretty nice pickup. There were a few other games there that I contemplated. Most of them weren't worth a lot, but this was definitely the best of the bunch. It's a Spider-Man game. It's on the Wii. I paid $4 for this. It's worth $6. Doesn't have a ton of value, but again, it's a Spider-Man game on the Wii. Of course I'm going to pick it up. Why would I not do that? So, pretty happy with the results. Last bunch of games is going to be from Max Pawn, or Pawn Max 2. I didn't spend a lot of time in there, mostly because we needed to get back. But I did find a nice little deal where I picked out 3 older gen games for $10. And none of these have a ton of value, but they're nice additions to the collection, and I'm glad to have them. First, we have Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon on the original Xbox. I totally forgot they had a game based on Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Looks pretty fun. It's complete in box, in pretty good shape. Paid $3 for this, and it is worth $6, so solid addition. Next up, Brothers in Arms, The Road to Hill 30 on the original Xbox. This completes my Brothers in Arms collection. Now I own all 3 of the Brothers in Arms games, 2 on the original Xbox and 1 on the PS3. Paid $3 for this. It is worth $6 as well, so nice, solid addition to the collection. Last but certainly not least, and this is probably the best score of that lot, and I knew it was going to be. I hoped it was worth a little bit more money. It's not, but that's okay. I'm actually curious. I might want to play it. Should be pretty cool. We have White Knight Chronicles, the International Edition on the PS3. Action RPG. The sequel's actually worth some pretty good money. I guess the original's not worth as much. I paid $4 for this one, and it is worth $11. So, solid return on investment there. And that's it. Kind of a lighter week, but that's okay. I did get to go do some thrifting, which I don't do very often, as well as check out a pawn shop in a city that I'm not in all the time. So at least you got to see a little bit of different locations as opposed to my normal stuff. And I got 2 new Switch games that I was pretty excited to pick up. So solid week all around. That's going to do it for this episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new around here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell. That way you know when new videos drop. New game hunting videos air every Monday, so be sure to check them out. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Bye-bye.